Everybody's talking at me.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Talkback on CRN Talk Radio. I'm Allyson Adams, and I'm filling in for Chuck Wilder today. And we're talking about basic home tips you can do to be prepared for any kind of emergency or disaster situation, focusing on water, food, shelter, and protection. And my first guest is Sherry Lee. We're back with Sherry Lee, the Survivor Lady. And we touched a little bit on water and food and shelter. And so let's say you are holed up in your house, the power's out, the water's out. All of a sudden, the toilets aren't flushing.
That's right.
The power's off, so the freezer, everything's melting. You know, what kind of situation? What's the first thing you do?
Well, like I said earlier, the first thing to do is get that gas turned off. Make your place safe. You're going to have lots of food in your refrigerator and freezer, so eat all that first.
Eat it first,
Yes,
okay.
that'll last a couple of days at least, and you'll get all your favorite foods as well. So go ahead and just clean out that refrigerator, everything you can get out, because it'll just get wasted.
Okay, and what about water? Let's say the power's out, water's off, toilet's not working. Now what?
Well, the first thing, as far as water goes, is when you, as soon as possible, try to fill up that bathtub.
Yeah, I always do that.
Full of, absolutely full of water. Again, that may be a place where you want to add a couple of drops of bleach, but you have your water filters, hopefully, and if you have any way of
stored water. Most people are going to have some stored water, I think.
Right. Hopefully they will. And, you know, it's good to keep those gallon jugs. Watch the dates every 6 months or so. Go through all your kit and check everything. Make sure everything's dated and circulate that as much as possible.
Okay, now back to there's no water and the toilet's not flushing.
Well,
what do we get, a 5-gallon bucket and throw a little bleach in there?
Well, that's exactly right. I really think that a 5-gallon bucket works the best. Have a bunch of plastic bags, some ties, and that's going to be your little potty for a while.
You never know. Do you know that the toilet has saved more lives than any invention in the planet? Did you know that?
No.
And that more people have cell phones in this world than they do toilets.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes, I learned that on water.org from Matt Damon.
Interesting.
Okay, so now getting on, we've got water, we've got food, and we've got our little commode that we've made for ourselves. And what about if somebody is in a storm and it's really cold outside? What is it you can stay warm in your house? What's the best way to do that?
Well, the best way is to kind of hunker down. If you have a tent, set up a small tent in your living room. Everybody get inside.
In your living room?
If you're in your living room and that's your designated room, set up a tent. If you don't have a tent, throw some blankets or plastic or anything you may have over a table.
Oh, so you're trying to make a small, warm area for yourself to trap in all that heat.
That's right. If you can get under the dining table and the sides are pretty much covered, you can get in there and raise that temperature a good 20 degrees. And
that's a good tip. You know, also people, you're going to want extra batteries, flashlight, candles, hand crank, radio, garbage bags, wrench, duct tape, toiletries, like you said, a little bleach, fire extinguisher, signal flare, paper plates, little disinfectant. And stress relievers, too. You know, a lot of people get very, very anxious, of course, during something like that. So you want to make sure you have plenty of medication, whatever your medication is, whatever you're going to need to stay cool.
That's right. And I believe the more that you practice your emergency plan, the more confident you're going to feel. But you will need stress relievers. So I don't know if it's reading books or playing cards or games with the family. But whatever it is, you need to have a few of those items available for that type of situation. But you always want to be listening to the radio. You'll be wanting to listen to the television and everything. So it gets
kind of brings the family together too a little bit when the lights go off and you're unplugged and all of a sudden you're just faced with a deck of cards. And I think there might be something to this.
Absolutely.
Just practicing.
That's right.
Thank you. We'll be right back.